Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming along and supporting us for the launch of Empty Nest. This has been a long time coming, so thank you so much. And also a very warm welcome to everyone who is online. So I know that several people are attending online, so I'm just going to shout out to hi, Mum and Dad in Devon. It's really nice to see you. So over the next hour or so, we're going to be meeting the team who created the Empty Nest album, and that's me. I'm Fiona, and I composed it and wrote the backing tracks. And there's also Nat, who is the singer, and Darren, who created all the artwork. We're going to be talking about how the songs were made. We're going to be seeing some of Darren's amazing artwork, hearing about the Empty Nest project, which goes with it. And you will also hear 6 songs from the album. 3 of them will be underneath the videos we're going to be showing you as the backing tracks, and 3 of them Nat is going to sing live for us here this afternoon. So, Empty Nest is basically a celebration of motherhood. And it's for about 3 years now. It's been an absolute passion that's gripped me. This is my passion project. And it's been gripping me, the idea that women can have an expression. We've got things to say about motherhood. We've got things we've experienced things. It's a really deep, amazing journey, and I want to express that through music. So this is what it's been about. I've said that the album is the first thing we did. That's the 12 songs, and it tells a story of a woman who. It's a little bit like a piece of musical theatre, that's how I imagined it. It tells the story of a woman, and the first thing that happens is her daughter gets her place at university. So it's like lots of celebration. You're going to hear that first song. And then, as the dust starts to settle and the daughter moves off stage, then the mother starts to realise, well, hang on a minute, what does that mean for me? Everything's going to change. I've had this amazing time with my daughter. Now she's going to leave. And she's got a lot of emotions around that to process. So the songs of Empty Nest are about, it is a little bit autobiographical, not completely, I have sons, about a woman processing having just gone through this journey of motherhood, 18 years, and then her child leaves, and what that feels like. And whereas the Empty Nest Motherhood Project is this idea that we get women talking about their experiences. So it's been a local community project which has been running by a team of us going around and listening to other women, many of you here, thank you very much, talking about your experiences as motherhood. And we've put those together, we've put them on a website, and if you do want to visit the website, it's emptynestproject.uk. You can hear some of those wonderful, wonderful stories and also hear the music and see the artwork. So I've been saying that it's been 3 years coming, a passion project, but of course, it's much more like 20 years coming because I have 3 sons. They are 23, 21 and 19. And when they were quite little, a friend came round and just said, let me take your sons off you for the afternoon. So I was left without my children, and I just went straight to the piano and started playing. I'm a musician, and just started expressing things and thinking, oh, it just feels like reconnecting with me. So there's a part of motherhood where when you're with your kids, your identity is a little bit rocked. You feel like a different person, or it all consumes you. And then you have moments of respite, and you can reconnect with yourself. This was my experience. I can't talk for all women. But I came up with a song at that time. It wasn't a very good song. It's not on the album. But I had the words, I came up with some air today, and it felt warm and familiar. And I realised there's something around motherhood where you can reconnect with yourself. You need to hold on to it so you don't lose yourself completely being a mother. And the song goes on, but it's beautiful down here, like a coral reef underwater, and those lines did make it into one of the songs. So for me, Empty Nest is expressing sometimes those feelings where you can be completely overwhelmed by the busyness of being a mother, and you lose sense of who you are, and then you recreate, and you look at your child and you just think, wow, what an incredible privilege this is to be a mother. I have this relationship with this wonderful child. And that happens simultaneously all at the same time. So it's complex. I'm hoping to have captured as many of those feelings in the songs as possible. And the reason why maybe women aren't writing these songs who currently have small children is because you're just too busy and too tired. So here I am, 20 years on, trying to remember what it was like. So apologies if it doesn't feel as raw and edgy. It's still, for me, this is obviously remembering from 20 years ago. And I'm hoping the album will resonate with other mothers about some of their experiences. And it began with me sitting on Darren's sofa 3 years ago saying, hey, Darren, let's do a project around mums. And we were coming out with really bonkers ideas like, oh, I don't know, let's do an art installation with music, which may still happen. I know Eunice has got some ideas. And there's other things like, I know, let's do some real-time improvising with a Darren painting as I do it. And we actually did that one. That was really cool. We did it during a church prayer meeting. We were being very expressive. And, so we've had a lot of fun. But it was also when we started talking to other mothers, we've just realised, do you know what? Women have got the most powerful, unique, amazing, individual story to tell. So when we started collecting those stories and experiences, which has been an amazing privilege, and some women have been unbelievably courageous with sharing some of their emotions, we've put them all together on the website, and if you take a look, I really hope you'll enjoy them. So I'm just going to wrap up this background of Emptiness, the album and the project, the community project, by showing you a video, which is a compilation of kind of what we've been up to for the last year, and underneath that video you will hear one song from the album. It's called Spinning Plates. So obviously the expression, the title, Spinning Plates, you immediately think of frenetic activity, you're rushing around, you can't cope, it's like, oh, I've got so much to do. The song is about a woman almost like listing everything she's got to do, and it just gets more and more frenetic. And when I was writing it, it started a little bit slower than the version you're about to hear. And I kept thinking, no, it's not frenetic enough. So I kept turning it up saying, Nat, can you sing it this fast? Can you sing it this fast? So we've made it up to 170 beats per minute. And let me tell you, that's fast. That is, most songs are about 120, and this is 170. So I give you what we've been up to so far launch montage with Spinning Plates. Thank you.
To make your breakfast, pack lunch, snack and tea, and check your homework gets done, school form signed and uniform clean. Check the laundry, find your shoes, check the cat is fed and litter tray is empty. Off to school with you, don't miss the bus, and tell your teacher I will be there 3:30. Oh, got to keep those plates all spinning, don't let the plates drop. Got to keep those plates all spinning, don't let the plates stop. To the shops and grab some milk and bread and cheese, and don't be late to work again, stay professional please. And don't forget to send that big report before you leave to come home again. Pick you up from school, how was your day? I'll listen while I fold the laundry, make the tea, and got to keep those plates all spinning, don't let the plates drop. Got to keep those plates all spinning, don't let the plates stop. Oh, broccoli in the hurricane, I don't care. I need a cup of tea, I need some time for me, but I just can't stop. Too much to do to even wonder where I'm going. I'll just keep spinning on until you've grown and flown away. I'll be old and gray, but until that day, got to keep those plates all spinning, don't let the plates drop. Got to keep those plates all spinning, don't let the plates stop. Got to keep those plates all spinning, don't let the plates drop. Got to keep those plates all spinning, don't let the plates stop. Oh, cauliflower on the shortcake, and I don't mind. I need to take a break, I need a glass of wine, but I just can't stop. Too much to do to even wonder where I'm going. I'll just keep spinning on until you've grown and flown away. I'll be old and gray, but until that day, got to keep those plates all spinning, don't let the plates drop. Got to keep those plates all spinning, don't let the plates stop. Got to keep those plates all spinning, don't let the plates drop. Got to keep those plates to keep those plates all spinning. Don't let the plates stop.
So yeah, Nat could do it at 170 BPM. So the beady eyes amongst you will have noticed that the last line read, "Look at women, aren't we great?" which is actually from the song Brand New Life, which Nat is going to sing later. And as you can see, I've just got a huge number of people to thank, and especially the women who gave their stories then. But I am going to flag up one thanks at this moment. I can't possibly thank everyone. There's a website where I try to. I'm going to flag up Forest of Dean District Council, who funded this. So, and here's Lynn to represent us. Thank you so. Thank you. And now I'd like to hand over to Paige and Darren. Paige is going to do some interviews with us.
Thank you, Fiona. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome. Thanks for coming. Today, or this evening, we're going to have a chat to Darren. So could I welcome Darren onto the stage, please? And give her a round of applause. Would you like to stand or sit? Okie dokie.
Thank you, Paige.
These chairs are heavy.
They are. There we go.
Welcome, Darren.
Thanks, Paige.
So, you're here not as a mother tonight, although that never stops, does it?
Never stops.
Not as a businesswoman, not as a church leader, but as an artist. So, could you tell us how your artistic career started, please?
Oh, goodness. Well, yeah, I think it's something that not many people know me for anymore, but it's definitely been a huge part of my life and was actually my first career. It was my first absolute vocation and love and passion. It started in school, where it was by just kind of mistake, actually, where I was just like, oh, I can't draw, I can't paint, but our art teacher was so full of passion and enthusiasm. She said, that doesn't matter. You know, it's your heart that you bring to it. And I was like, well, I've got plenty of that. And actually,
yes, she has.
Underneath all of that, I could actually draw, but it took a few years to develop, so...
Wonderful. So where did that take you next, briefly?
Briefly, very briefly. So after that, I went on to study at university and into practice and also theoretical work as a curator. And then I was a curator in London, in Australia, Europe, lots of different places. So it's been a whirlwind, but a wonderful experience of the art world. Yeah.
Super. And for the uninitiated, i.e. myself, what does a curator do?
Well, we design and manage and work with artists to put together art exhibitions, and they can be thematic, they can be like chronological ones, they can be based on community projects like this, and those particularly were my favourite, where we got to work with the community and artists and join them together.
Fab. So are you still making and creating art?
Oh, that's the question, Paige. Well, it's been a wonderful privilege to be a part of this project with Fiona because it's kept my artistic practice alive. Not in the 9 to 5, but in those wee hours of the morning where you have these snippets of time and you're snatching back parts. Just, I think, like in Motherhood, where you're snatching back parts of yourself.
Yep.
It's been like that.
So how have you balanced being an artist with also being a mum? Because a mum is a 24/7 job, and then some, and you're running business and you do lots of other things. How have you managed to balance that?
I don't think it is ever a balance. I actually, one reason why I love working with Fiona is because she works with rhythm all the time. And that is what you find. You find a rhythm that works for you and works for your family of, you know, like I said, finding those pockets, always carrying a sketchbook, always taking a photo, and just having that flow of ideas into a rhythm. Because I was trying to find balance, and that was painful because it never worked. But
Bit
rhythm,
of an uphill struggle there.
Yeah, yep. Yeah. So rhythm is the way.
Go with the flow rather than against it.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So if any of you guys have clapped eyes on the album, which is to my right here, and obviously what's been up on screen, I believe you're responsible for, oh, here it is, The Empty Nest. Is that right?
Yes, that is right.
Could you tell us, from the briefing, back when Fiona asked you to do this. Could you tell me your process, how it has become this that we are now looking at and beautifully adorns the album cover?
Oh, thank you. Well, it has been a process, but what I love doing is listening to music and working with that rhythm and with that flow and letting the sound and the melody just push into what I'm doing with my hand. These are quite pictorial because we wanted it to be an empty nest, but there's a lot of sketchiness, there's a lot of short lines and mark making, and that's in response to a lot of to Fiona's music as it went. So I was privileged to hear it as it was coming through and then add my work to it, and that's basically how we did it, from sketches, and then I digitized and kept playing and rotating and playing again, just like Fiona does with her music, always never letting it go, never satisfied, but we have to come to a stop at some point.
It's beautiful. I think we can all agree on that, can't we? Well, thank you very much for your time, Darren, for sharing with us your artistic process.
You're welcome.
I believe we're now going to have a little video of Darren's art coupled with another song from the album, and the song is called Blessing. I hope you enjoy.
Find peace and strength, and find friendship, and find safety and beauty and joy. Fly away and be free. Find faith, find hope, find your feet, find your dreams, and find fly away and be free. Find grace, find trust, find purpose and healing and truth. Fly away and be free. Free to laugh, free to cry, free to dance or to grieve, free to fly. Fly away and be
Thank you, Nat. Such a privilege for me to have. Is this okay? It's to have Nat singing my songs. I've got an awful voice, and she just turns it into loveliness. So we're now going to sing you 3 songs. I'm actually feeling a bit emotional just having watched Darren's art. Just give me a second. So the 3 songs that you're about to hear, obviously the whole thing was imagined as a piece of musical theatre. So I'm hoping there are going to be other characters in there, maybe the mother's own daughter, maybe the mother's own mother. And there's also going to be a character that I'm calling her her experience of the presence of God. And he's going to come in maybe as a mime artist or something like that. So there's just other characters who are moving around on stage at different times. So the first one we're going to do is number 1, and it's called OK, Here You Go. And the daughter, and originally when I wrote it, it was going to be the daughter singing it, and it was going to be OK, Here I Go. And I thought it was kind of like quite hip and happening, had all these kind of trendy sounds. She'd say things like, bring it on, I can do this. And my son, this is about 3 years ago, he just said to me, do you know what, Mum, that's not how 18-year-olds talk. And it's like, what do you mean? And he said, that's how 50-year-olds talk, and you've just put the words of a 50-year-old into the mouth of an 18-year-old. It's like, oh, okay. So what I did is I've changed the song to be sung by the mother. So now young Nat has had to take this song on, and she is, at this point in the song, the 50-year-old mother. So thank you very much, did it brilliantly. I thought bring it on is kind of hip. Is it not hip? Do people not say, is it hip to say hip? It's like, do you say, I'm lost, I'm completely lost. I'm in my 50s and I'll just leave it there. So that's, for me, this was like a really joyful one. And I absolutely love playing the piano part. I just improvised it in, it's all in C major, so I haven't got to think about any sharps and flats. And, what's the piano on? I'm just going to play the opening bit that I get to play, and then I'm going to play along with Nat. So I'm going to try not to put her off, but I just wanted to join in. So, anyway, so that's me going to be joining in, but obviously listen to that, because there's probably going to be fistfuls of wrong notes in there. And then after that one, so this is the exciting one, the daughter's just got her A-level results, she's really excited, Mum's saying, well done, this is really, really good, just starting to process how she feels about it. And then, thank you that you've been clapping. I'm going to ask you not to clap at the end of this one, because we'd like it to move on. It's going to get quieter and quieter and slow down, and then we're just going to go straight into number 2, which is called You've Been a Whirlwind in My Life. And suddenly the mum's left alone on the stage, and she's like, oh my life, this is all about to change. So that's number 2. Then we're going to, you can clap after that one if you want to. And then we're going to go into number 4, which is called Brand New Life. And again, it's a very joyful one. She's just discovered she's pregnant, and I imagine her standing on stage, maybe with a little pregnancy test. They really look like lateral flow tests, don't they? It's like with one line, it's just like, oh, okay, I'm not pregnant, but so that's really good. So yeah. So those 3, 1, 2, and 4 from the album. Thank you, Nat.
Okay, here you go, stepping out into the world. Time to live my life, time to take control, yeah. Great big world out there for the taking, and you're gonna have your share. Bring it on. Mountain now to climb, start ascending, it's my time. Reaching for your dreams, stretching for the stars, yeah. Tough times, you don't care, you can face it, leaving all of this behind. Here you go. Strong, I knew this day would come, and this is what it has been all about. Bringing life, raising up, sharing love, giving hope, and teaching you to fly. But flying away leaves me behind, and when you're gone, what then? What's left of me? Here, you can do this, I can and cheer. You've got things to sing, you've got things to bring, yeah. Great big world out there for the taking, and you're gonna have your share. Here you go. Okay, off you go. You can make it in the world. Time to live your life, time to take control, yeah. Great big world out there for the taking, and you're gonna have your share. Oh, tough times, you don't care. You can make it, leaving all of this behind. You'll take your place. You're on your way. You've been a whirlwind in my life. How I've loved it. Caught in the swirling to be found all around you. It was exciting. That I feel the sunshine. You've been a brilliant ray of light. I've been enchanted, caught in the radiance of your life and your love. We were dancing. You've been a reason to live. I'm so grateful. And now it's time to let you go and see you fly away. The empty nest is not a cliche. People do this letting go every day. But who mentioned there would be this pain? They didn't mention there would be this pain. You've been a privilege to know, right there beside me, caught in the bustle of your life as you grow. It has defined me. It's time to let it all go. It's the right thing. Yes, the right thing. But now the time has finally come. I'm wanting you to stay. The empty nest is not a cliche. People do this letting go every day. Growing up has always been this way. For the one left behind, but who mentioned there would be this pain? They didn't mention there would be this pain. There's a brand new life in me. The answer's yes, and it's gonna be me. It's a baby, a tiny baby, tiny fingers and tiny toes and tiny ears and tiny eyes, and I'm gonna be a mom, me. There's a brand new life in me. I'll be the best I can be. There's a brand new life in me. I'll be the best that I can be. Time to eat well, time to sleep well, time to keep well, time to grow well, time for me to take part in the creation of new life. Join the countless women in the army giving birth. Time for me to take my place, add into the human race. Wow, look at women, aren't we great? I will love this child in me. Oh, be the best that I can be. Oh, there's a brand new life in me. Welcome to this brand new me. I accept this brand new me.
That sings it better every time I hear it. Let's re-record it. Let's just do it again. Okay, Paige.
Thank you, ladies. That was fantastic. Did you enjoy that, guys? Can't hear you? Yes. It was wonderful. And, it's just amazing to think you wrote it and you're singing it. Oh, dream team. So now I'm back because we're going to interview Fiona. Should we take a seat? How are you feeling?
Well, I was very nervous at the beginning of this, but I'm feeling a bit more relaxed now, thank you.
Oh, everyone here is so behind you and so rooting for you, and we're just so proud of you. So we're going to find out a little bit more about Fiona. Where does your musical career start, in brief?
My mum is a professional musician. She went to the Royal Academy of Music as a pianist, and my whole childhood was just steeped in music. I was learning instruments from a very young age. She taught me flute and piano, and thanks, Mum. I'm really, really grateful. What a lovely thing for a parent to give you. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. And am I right in thinking that composing has always been something that you have wanted to do?
Yeah, I've always loved it, the idea of doing it, but those aren't the careers that I've done. So my first professional career was I was a flute player, and I played in London orchestras, and I'd mess around with a little bit of music, and I actually bumped into somebody at a mums and toddler group, and she happened to be a kind of BBC radio producer, so she just like, oh, I'll stick it in my programme. So I was getting little bits and pieces of music. That was a BBC thing, but there was always like in the back of my mind, it's like, oh, this is really cool. I'm really enjoying this. And then after that, I became a music therapist, and that was an amazing thing to do. But lockdown was just too hard. I spent the first 3 months of lockdown just trying to convince people they'd really love to come and do music therapy online on Zoom with music that won't line up, and it was all kind of jerky, and it was just awful. So I just got to the end and said, there are still music therapists out there doing an amazing job, but I couldn't do it anyway. So I finished, and within a few, and just said, I'm going to go for it. This is it. I'm actually going to go for it now as a composer. I'm in my 50s and I want to go for it and do the thing I've wanted to do all my life. And within a few months, actually, I've had some really nice commissions to... Sorry, is your child all right?
I think he's okay.
He's done. Okay. Yeah.
So, what was the hardest thing about making the leap into going into composing? Or was it very easy and you just slid straight in?
I was just desperate to get on with it, and so I recognised that there obviously wouldn't be much money at first. But Mike has been amazingly supportive, and he just said, keep going. I said, well, actually, there's going to be no income from me for a while, so it might be a few less holidays, but you were in lockdown, there weren't holidays anyway. So, the support from Mike made it a lot easier, but just getting up in the morning and saying, I now run my own time, I'm going to make myself work from 9 to 5. Yeah.
So where could we find some more of your music that you've composed? Because you've composed some music for a TV documentary. You've done some charity work. You've done some work for church, of course. But if we wanted to go and listen to some more of your music, where could we find that?
Okay, on Sky Documentaries and Vimeo, there's a film called Children of Shanghai, which is amazing. It's about this charity called Care for Children that supports over 1 million children Chinese children coming out of orphanages and going into foster care. And I wrote the score for that. It's narrated by Bear Grylls.
Was that a name drop then?
It was.
Hey.
Sorry. And then I can't tell you which episodes, but just if you happen to any fans of Gardener's World and Countryfile, I write music for that now. And and there's also I have a composer website, FionaTaylor.com, and then obviously Empty Nest. And then I've got plans for more music. So there's places, yeah.
So watch this space. That was FionaJTaylor.com, is that right?
Yes.
And the Empty Nest website. I'll say it again, FionaJTaylor.com. Okay. Go check it out. There's some wonderful stuff on there.
Thank you.
So my next question is, how are you finding your own empty nest experience? Because your sons have flown the nest now, haven't they?
I have. Well, I thought I would be crumpling in the mess on the floor, so I kind of braced myself and spent 3 years processing it in advance. I'm like that. It's like, oh no, I might feel bad in 2 years' time, so I'm going to process it all as deeply as I can right now. And so for me, I kind of like got it all out of my system in the album, so that when they did my final, the youngest son left home this September for his university, I was kind of okay actually, and thought, time to move on, I'm ready. I really like my husband Mike, and we're just having a lot of fun. It's fun. We feel free. There's levels of freedom that you don't get when your kids are around. Don't have to keep doing lifts everywhere. It's thank you. I'm enjoying it.
Fabulous. And just quickly, what would be a few words of advice for anyone who is coming up to their own empty nest situation soon?
I don't know. I think that if one thing I've been taught by listening to hundreds of other mothers, not hundreds, sorry, many other mothers, it's like everyone's journey is so unique and individual. My journey is utterly different from everyone else's journey. I'm so sorry, I don't think I can give advice on that. I just think everyone's...
That's very wise.
Maybe it's fine maybe it's just like tuck in to really reconnect with who you are as an individual. That's your way forward, maybe. Don't know, sorry.
Very wise. No, you're bringing your experience, as you say. You've spoken to a lot of women over the time. So, well, could we just give another round of applause to Fiona, as we've got her here? We're so proud of you. We're so proud of you. Oh, thank you for letting me grill you with the extra questions. I believe I'm going to be interviewing Natalie next. Is that all right? Yeah. Come join. I think all the babies are okay. Yes. And another round of applause, please, for Miss Nataley Freeman. have a pew.
Hi, Paige.
Hi, Natalie. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay, thank you.
Did it feel good to get back up on stage and to sing your heart out in front of a live audience?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Fab. So you've had a bit of a busy life since recording for the Empty Nest project. Would you like to share a little bit about how that was?
Yeah, so, I mean, there was a lot going on with COVID, obviously, so, I mean, that's one of the things that's impressive about the album is the fact that Fiona and I were both, like, completely apart when we recorded all our little bits, and I was just recording at home and sending it to her, and she would put it all together and make it sound amazing.
So her feedback wasn't even necessarily live feedback on your performance. You would record it, send it to Fiona, she'd give you some feedback, and you would then, on the back of that, you would carry on working on it. Is that right?
Yeah, or I'd send her lots of takes, and then she'd take the best bits out of them. And
gosh, what a challenge. I guess we just don't appreciate, A, what goes into recording things, but B, to do it in a lockdown? Bravo, bravo. But that wasn't the only big thing happening in your life at the time. What else was going on?
wow, I suppose I was pregnant with little Jacob over there. So
Hi, Jacob.
that got fun. Yeah, so Fiona actually asked me to sing the vocals in December, and yeah, I was in bed with COVID, quite pregnant.
Oh no.
And I was like, wow, this is amazing, but I feel rubbish. And yeah, so as I was recording, I was just getting fatter and fatter, and yeah, the breathing was more difficult towards the end, but it sounds good.
I was going to say, if you've listened to the release tracks, you'd never know, would you? It's amazing. So, how are you finding motherhood? It's a massive question, but how are you finding life as a mum?
Yeah, I love it. He's a very sweet little boy. Yeah, just love it. It's really nice.
This is good news, Jacob. Well done. You're in. And how did you find the experience of singing Empty Nest coming from a position as going to be a mother yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I was having this discussion earlier. It's a bit surreal, like having to flash forward to sort of when they're leaving you, when they've only just joined you. Like, hang on, he's only just got here. So it's weird singing about, the fact that one day he's going to be going, which is very sad. I just don't want to think. I'm just going to put that in a box somewhere and forget all about it, I think.
Sounds wise.
It makes me sad.
And do you have a favourite song from the album? One that you particularly like singing, or one that resonates with you?
Don't make me choose, Paige. Just don't make me choose.
Okay,
I don't have. No, I love it all. Yeah.
Aww. Well, thank you so much for being here tonight and giving us such a wonderful performance. Of course, if you want to hear more, Miss Nataley Freeman, buy the album. It's here, ready and waiting. Are you signing them?
Yes. Could do.
If
Fiona is, then I will, but...
Sorry? Maybe. If you want to open yours tonight and get it signed, maybe. Fabulous. Could we have another round of applause for the wonderful voice and the wonderful person and the wonderful mother and the wonderful friend who is Nataley Freeman. Woo! Thank you, darling. Alrighty, do you feel like you guys know the folk behind the Empty Nest project a little bit better now? Good. Well, for a nice, relaxing interlude, we actually have a quiz. So I hope you're all going to be part of this. It's going to be a hands up, wave in the air, or shout out your answers kind of quiz. And it's all about motherhood. Are you ready? Okay, so it's quite light-hearted. As I said, raise your hands or shout out the answers. Sorry if you're online. Click away. So, first question. Has anyone ever had broccoli arrive in their hair whilst cleaning under the table after your little one? What is the most disgusting thing to ever arrive on your head whilst doing this? Broccoli from Fiona? Porridge? Oh, did it congeal? Oh dear. Is that the guilty party over there? Oh dear. Anybody else have anything gross in their hair? Courtesy of their children? Sorry? Yogurt, okay. I think mine's just general bodily fluids, to be honest. Sorry. Alrighty. So, have you ever been in the room when someone has accidentally called their teacher mum by mistake? 1 over there, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, hands down. Hands up if it was you. 1, 2, 3. Oh dear, it's just a habit. Well, that's allowed. We'll let you have a bonus point for that in that case.
I've not done this myself, but the person who did, it was in an A-level physics class.
An A-level physics class. Awkward. Was she ridiculed?
I'm afraid he was.
Alas. But I'm sure we've all got very close to doing it at some point. Okay, hands up. Who's tried baby food for themselves? Quite a few of you. Keep your hands up if you enjoyed it. Oh, okay, a few. What did you try, Darren?
Apple and pear.
Apple and pear. And did it taste like actual apples and pears?
Puree, yeah.
So just about.
Don't ask about the carrots.
Carrot and sweet potato. Right, you heard it here, guys. Particularly nice one to try when you get home. Go out and get some. Okay, what costumes have people made for their kids' school plays?
Wolf, the big bad wolf.
The Big Bad Wolf.
Star.
I sent my son in his pajamas to the childminder this week because it was children in need. Turns out it's just a onesie. Bellatrix, Strange. Fab. Anybody else quite creative? What did they go as? What did the boys go as? Do tell, do tell.
Well, because we did this, we did the whole of Les Mis as well. So lots.
Les Mis, gosh, you put the bar up here.
Sorry.
I went as a spotty dog once. All right then. Okay, what parts have our children played in nativities? Star, Mary. Anyone played the lobster yet? No? I do look forward to putting a tea towel on Josh's head and making him Joseph or something. Adair played an angel. Well, what else would she have played, eh? All right, shout them out. Who can name the first 5 trains from the original Thomas the Tank Engine?
Thomas.
Not what number, bonus point for Thomas. 1. James. What number is James? Not quite. 5, I heard. Anybody else? It's 5. Any other Thomas Tank Engine choo-choos? There was Percy, there was Gordon, there was James, there was Thomas. Who am I missing? You are correct. Percy is not here. So number 1 was Thomas. 2 was Edward. He was the big blue one. Henry was the short green one. Number 3, Gordon was the big green one. And James was the red one. Is that right? My brother was very into Thomas Tank Engine. Oh, Gordon was blue. He was green then. Just Percy. Henry. Okay. All right. Top dad points.
To go back a second online, Jono's just said he played the one who pulled all the hay out of the manger.
Nice. So Jono played the one who pulled all the hay out of the manger. Nice. The cow. I wouldn't have expected anything less from you, Jono. Well done. Can anyone tell me the name of the Teletubbies? Oh, full marks for Aaron Freeman there. Well done. Oh, that was the bonus question. What's the name of the mechanical cleaner? Nunu. Yep, the Nunu. It's an education, this, isn't it, guys? So complete the following line from the song. Scoop, Muck and Dizzy, Roly 2, Lofty and Wendy, join the crew. Way, is that Bob the Builder, by any chance? Awesome, well done, guys.
I actually use that phrase in my safeguarding training.
Do you?
Together to get the job done, yeah. Encouraging multi-agency work.
Do they all burst into song at the same time?
Eventually. But I need
Nice.
to get his photograph up on the screen in the future so that they can make that mental link.
Love it. And then they will be forever haunted by Mr. Bob the Builder and his little heart out. And for the last question, which I think is the best, Fiona says She once pulled her son's dummy out of his mouth to make him cry so that she could use it as an excuse to get off the phone. I want to say it's true or false question, but it's true. But has anyone else done anything this bad, or is it just Fiona? I think it might just be Fiona, unless anyone's going to volunteer. Nobody? Oh, Fiona. Which son was it? Dan? Oh, I'm sorry, Dan. Oh, bravo, bravo. And that brings us to the end of the quiz. Alrighty. Well, we're moving on to another interview now. I'd like to ask the gentlemen to come up. That would be Aaron and Mike. And we will pull up another chair. Oh, and you'll need a mic. So welcome to the stage, guys. So for those of you who don't know, this is Mr. Mike Taylor. He comes with Fiona. And Mr. Aaron Freeman. He comes with Nataley Freeman. So I don't mind who starts. You can fight over the mic. How have you guys found living with two women who have been pouring their heart and soul and spare time and energy into the Empty Nest project?
Honestly, I can't remember what it's like living with a woman who isn't doing that.
I'm quite the opposite, sorry, Mike, because I was at work while she was recording it, so...
Guys, they just don't talk much, do they? All right, then. How proud are you guys of your wives?
Oh, very proud. You, Mike?
Yeah, about 47%. Out of 48. Yeah. The last mark, the missing mark, is because of Fiona's cowardice in actually committing to things being done. So she would remix the same song again and again and again until it was obviously perfect. And then she'd get up the next morning and say, do you know what? I'm just going to take that marimba down 1/3 of a decibel. And so in the end, my role in all this was just telling her to stop.
And am I right in thinking that there was a particular time where you literally had to not push her off a cliff, but get something done that Fiona was otherwise incapable of?
Yeah, actually sending the audio masters to get the CD pressed, I had to do while Fiona was out the house.
So this is literally at the finish line, almost?
Yeah, exactly.
But you couldn't quite go across without your help?
Not even with my help. I had to push it over.
Oh, well, thank you and well done.
Thank you.
And Aaron, how have you found, this is obviously a motherhood project, but how have you found Natty's time investing in the motherhood project, the Empty Nest project, when she was swelling in the belly with a little Jacob inside her? How did you find watching that process?
Well, I was, to be honest, I don't know how she did it, because it was bedlam, to be honest. She just had COVID. I'd ripped out the whole of our upstairs. So
on Christmas Day, I'm going to add, guys.
well, we had COVID, so we might as well have cracked on with it. But yeah, so she was, you know, we had no bedroom as such, no recording studio. We literally had no walls upstairs in our house. You know, it was complete bedlam. She was pregnant and only getting bigger. He was quite a big baby.
Mm-hmm. Less lung capacity, I guess, for singing.
Exactly. So it was quite, you know, time constraints were there, just actually being able to physically sing them. And I guess that's why she just muddled through whilst I wasn't there, because if I was there, I was making lots of noise. So if there are any sort of like power tools going in the background on the album, I can take full credit for that.
Nicely done, nicely done. And Mike, how do you feel now that Fiona is finally living her dream, or her long-term aspiration of being a composer?
Well, I'm so glad, because Fiona's, she's so duty-driven, so anything that comes up that anybody else might possibly want her to do, her natural tendency always leap to that and do that instead. So I felt like I've spent the last couple of years desperately trying to get her to be a tiny, tiny bit selfish. So, and do the thing that is her calling. So it's lovely to do, lovely to see that.
Wonderful. Well, can we give it up to the men folk, for both Aaron and Mike for supporting?
Hang on, sorry, I'm not done.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Please do continue.
Yeah, I want to say two other things. One is, I was just astonished at the job that Nat did singing this at her tiny, tiny age. I mean, when she began working on this, she actually had an empty nest because she didn't have any children yet. And yet somehow she sings it with a depth of understanding and insight and wisdom and experience that you would never believe that she hadn't had multiple children grow up and leave home already. So thank you so much for what you contributed to this. And the other thing, while I've got the microphone and you can't get it off me, is that I don't think anybody else in the world, apart from Fiona, could have made this music happen. It's the combination of her experience as a performing musician, as a therapist, as a mother, and as so emotionally empathetic. And all the hard skills that go with that as well has meant that somehow all of this has been distilled down into 12 tracks that no one else could have created. So while I'm in awe of you, Nat, I'm more in awe of Fiona.
No. I think it would be really nice to have both Fiona and Natalie up on the stage with their husbands so we can give them a group round of applause. Yeah. And Jacob as well.
Steve was reaching for Jacob then.
So please do give this fantastic foursome the biggest round of applause for everything that they have achieved together. Wonderful things. Would you like my mic? Thank you.
So I'm just going to wrap up now. Obviously, thank you so much for coming. I've got a few, it feels like notices. People often stand here on a Sunday morning and give the notices, so I feel like I'm doing that. I also want to flag up Dan, who drummed on the track that called Brand New Life. This is an all-female production, so all the composing and the lyrics and the singing and the publicity and the artwork and the mastering, apart from Mike pressing send on the final thing, is women, apart from Dan drumming, my son, on that last track you heard. And he's an amazing drummer. Thank you, Dan. But I'm still going to call it an all-female production because I made Dan, so it doesn't really count. So I still, yeah, there you go. There you go. Getting around it that way. I now want to mention a competition. Tabby Webb, thank you very much, Tabby, came and this lovely West End singer. She sang Christine in The Phantom, thank you, and Cosette in Les Mis. Have I got that right? And she came and took an interest in our Motherhood project, came and talked to us on the day about postnatal depression. But she's also offered to give a singing lesson to the winner of this competition. So if you like any of the songs, obviously you can approach me for the words and a backing track, and I will send it to you. And you can find it on the website, and then I'll mix it in, and the winner, or the best three, will get sent to Tabby, and the winner will receive a 1-hour lesson, singing lesson from a West End star, Tabitha Webb. So I'm just announcing that competition now. It's all on the website. The next thing I want to announce is Eunice's workshop. So on the back of Eunice coming along to the Mother's Day, she is now going to run her own workshop and start her own motherhood project. And she is looking for 10 women. I believe you have 3 already. So looking for some more. I'm just going to read out what she says. It's going to be a way to share and visually encapsulate thoughts and experiences around motherhood using each individual's own creativity and ideas through collage and stitch. And the created works she hopes to collect and curate as an art installation and as part of her degree. So she's looking for 10 women. If you would like to sign up for that, it's going to be next Saturday, the 27th of November, here between 2 and 4. Eunice is here, and if you're online and you want to contact Eunice, feel free to go through the Empty Nest website. There's some contact details there, and I'll pass on your details to Eunice. That was it. Oh, happy? Yeah, okay. The website, as you know, is going to emptynestproject.uk, and that's where you can go and check out lots of stuff if you found today interesting and exciting. And then through website, you can make your way to a place called Bandcamp, which is now up and running as a place to, if you want to buy. If you've enjoyed the music and you'd like to have more of it, you can buy individual tracks, or you can buy the whole album digitally, or you can order a CD, or we would love to sell some at the end. if you're interested in that. And finally, after New Year, Nat and I are going to plan to have a performance. At the moment, we're looking at 22nd of Jan, but obviously watch this space. Where Nat's going to sing through all 12 songs, and we're going to try and make it feel like a story, a running story. So a little bit semi-staged, a big performance of them all. We'll see how that goes. And then finally, we're going to leave you with one more. Mike's walking up. One more video. Mike's why? Oh.
Steve brought flowers. Now, I should have done this if I were as good a husband as Fiona's been saying, but Nat as well.
Oh, thank you, Steve. Steve's Nat's dad. Thank you very much. Thank you, Steve. It's really kind. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's really kind of you. I'm going to leave you with one final video. When this video finishes, those of us who are here in person are going to go and have some really nice nibbles. Jen's actually preparing meringue nests, which we thought was kind of thematic. And those of you online, I'm sorry, you'll just have to go and make your own cup of tea and find a scone or something like that. But thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with this final video, which is using the music called Empty Bedroom. And its inspiration came from a video that I found on YouTube when I was trawling, thinking, I'd fancy scoring something. So I found this amazing video where someone had gone jogging in the forest and he'd spotted, it doesn't sound like it's amazing, but it's like a dark, dank forest and a dead leaf dangling from a spider's web thread. So, it doesn't sound amazing, but when you see it, I think you'll agree there's something utterly beautiful about it, and the solitariness of the leaf. And so I kind of improvised around it, watching it, and the way that the leaf moves, and it kind of flows and stops and then moves again, and the ups and downs. I wanted it to inform the music. So there's no metronome, there's no kind of beat, but the music flows in and out. So that's where the music came from. I actually contacted the guy who'd created it, and it turns out that he is a professional photographer of professional musicians. So how cool is that? I thought he's got an eye for something there. So that's the background behind the song you're about to hear. The story is obviously Empty Nest is the final song in the whole album, and we'll leave it with you. And it's when the child has left, and the mother is standing in the empty bedroom. I was going to get emotional. She's standing in the empty bedroom, just looking around, and I think, is that good? More to say? Yeah. And I want to leave you with the final words. If the whole album finishes with the words, I wouldn't have missed this for the world. So thank you ever so much, people who've come along today. Really appreciate it, really, and appreciate your support. And I leave you with Empty Bedroom.
Here's where you sang, here's where you played. Here are your hopes and Here's where you laughed and cried and danced. Your childhood still sings to me. Here's where you tested out your wings. Here's where you slowly learned to fly. Here is your childhood left behind, just as you're leaving me behind. Your life moves on, and mine stays here. I'm so proud of you. I'm so pleased for you. I'm glad I did this, put my life on hold for you. Here's Here's where you prayed, here's where you grew. Here's where your plans were made. I'm just not sure what's next for me. Your childhood still sings to me. Here's where you tested out your wings. Here's where you slowly learned to fly. Here is your childhood left behind, just as you're leaving me behind. Your life moves on. And so does mine, given this time again, your childhood days again. Still I would choose to put my life on hold for you. I wouldn't have missed this for the world. Your childhood still sings to me. Here's where you tested out your wings. Here's where you slowly learned to fly. And all the memories are now mine. We will have always had this time. I'm moving on. What a ride it's been for us, and what a time we've seen you and me. I'm glad I chose to put my life on hold for you. I wouldn't have missed this for the world. I wouldn't have